To the live stream. So excited to be here. Let's get into this discussion today. For those of you all who are just coming into the live, let me know where you're from. Another thing you can let me know is how was your weekend and what is something new that you learned this past weekend. This talk is going to be about how I did my 30-day head wrap challenge, and really it's 30-day head wrap journey. PH said I'm making this my screensaver. I'm not sure where you see on your side because I just see a live stream pop up thing with all my analytics on it. So I don't know. That would be kind of boring if I made that my screensaver. So I don't know what you see on your side, but cool. Cool for you. Yeah, so for those of you who all don't know me, my name is Lauren, but I go by Holistic Flow or Lolo on this channel because we're flowing holistically and I want to help you feel less alone, feel more creative, and increase your connections by mastering your mindset. And along with that, I do a lot of videos about mindset, mindfulness, or mastering your mindset through mindfulness. And I also talk about my lock journey because to me that's a part of mindfulness. So yeah, as you all are coming in, let me know where you're from. What's up, Joseph? How are you doing? Good. My voice may sound a little scratchy because I'll use my voice. I used my voice a lot this past weekend. I went to a entrepreneur conference and Master P was there, so it was pretty cool. And so in this live stream, I'll be talking about why I did my 30-day head wrap challenge or my 30-day head wrap journey and what that was all about. And I also want to say that in this live stream, I will be taking questions. I know a lot of people are going to have a lot of questions. I see y'all coming in. What's up? What's up? What's up? Where y'all from? New York, Florida in the house. That's what's up. And I would like to also say that, yeah, I'm going to take questions at the end, but you can ask your questions throughout. I might not answer them if they're long or if they require a long response. Comments are cool, but I'm going to save a lot of the questions for the end. So don't worry, you can drop your questions as you get them, but just know that if I don't answer your question right when you post it, then I'll go back through your question at the end or towards the end. We're gonna be on here. We're gonna be hanging out for about an hour or so. So I'm excited to talk to you all. Liddy, sorry. South Carolina in the house, Cincinnati. Okay, that's what's up. I like hearing where y'all from because if I ever do another in-person event, I'm going to definitely take that into consideration where most of y'all are from. Speaking of in-person events, I'm having my first retreat. You all, so the retreat is going to be in May the 23rd through the 26th, and that is a Memorial Day holiday, but I recommend just seeing if you have the availabilities. It's an all-inclusive retreat, and if you haven't seen the retreat page, I'll drop it in just a second. But I wanted to tell you all that if you're interested in the retreat but not sure if it resonates with you, then go ahead and jump on a call because I'll be doing a call this Thursday, an interest meeting where you all can come on and talk to me, and I'll be happy to talk to you all as well to answer any of your questions. But that is the page for the retreat where you can find all the information, and I've updated it with FAQs, frequently asked questions. It is a co-ed retreat, and I will be, along with the co-ed retreat, I'll be having men and women in separate, what's called cabins, and it is in Pennsylvania. That's in the U.S. It's going to be in the mountains, about 2.5 hour drive from DC, about 3 hours from New York, and it's in the heart of the mountains. It's really pretty scenery. So we're going to be resetting our circadian rhythm, learning about herbalism, and finding relief in finding community. If you need a getaway, if you have a stressful job, or if you're looking to enhance your creativity, I'm going to do some sand bowl sessions. We're going to have daily yoga and meditation, and also an epic breath work session. So if you're interested in that, definitely check out my page. Now I'm going to drop the link for the retreat interest meeting, which again is this Thursday. I'm hosting it within the next 2 Thursdays as well. So I just dropped the interest meeting after that if you were interested in going, but you don't know exactly how it's going for you. All right, so Jacksonville, Florida in the house. That's what's up. In Illinois, gotta get to the homework, but drop by real quick to like and say hi. See you in the rewatch. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, get to your homework. Definitely get your study on. So, and also, yeah, if you're in the replay, y'all already know what to do. I appreciate y'all for real, man. I appreciate all y'all. Y'all know what to do. Yeah, if you're in the replay, type replay as well, so that I know you watch it back. Cause I don't really know if y'all be watching it back like that. But a lot of you all have typed replay in my past live stream, so I appreciate you for that. Kiki says she's from Louisiana. Great. All right, so let's get into this talk about, again, I'm going to talk about why I did a 30-day head wrap challenge, which I'm calling a 30-day head wrap journey, and why I wrapped my locks for 30 days and how it went and my experience of it. I did post a longer video about this last Friday, so if you want to go back and watch that video, you can. I love you too. I love you all too, so much. So thank you for all your love and support. Yeah, and again, if you ever have any questions throughout the live stream, just drop them in the comments. And if it's a long question, then I'll just save it for the end. I'll save all the questions for the end. So I've had my locks for 3 years, and throughout those 3 years, the first year, in between the first and I guess probably in between month 1 and month 9, the first and ninth month, I did wear a lot of head wraps, but after that, I stopped wearing head wraps. And the reason why is because I like the look of my locks, so I didn't want to cover them up. I just wanted everybody to see them. They were growing, they were flourishing, and getting, yeah, they were getting mature. And as they got mature, I was really reluctant to wear head wraps because I was like, I like the way that they look, and the head wraps started to, I feel like, take some actual personality away from my locks. So I didn't wear head wraps for a while. Hey, Sora. And yeah, I throughout the last 2 years of my lock journey, I just wear my hair in pretty much one style most of the time. Now, my lock journey has been more, I feel like, spiritual than physical to me. And not to sound cliche, because a lot of people say this, but locks are spiritual protection for me. I know that's not the case for everyone, but I'm gonna get into why they are spiritual protection. So I'm sure a lot of you all have caught on, if you're on your lock journey, or if you watch a lot of lock journey videos, a lot of you all may have caught on that a lot of people are cutting off their locks. I think one of you all had commented what I think about people cutting off their locks in a couple live streams ago. And I was like, I don't really know a lot of people who are cutting off their locks, but you know how after something is brought to your attention, then you start seeing it. So after somebody said that, I've started seeing it, and I was like, oh, that is true, I think. But based upon my perception, another person's perception may not be like that. I think that's because, to answer the question of why I think people may cut off their locks, I think it's because we all inherently know that energy lies in the crown of your head, and energy escapes out of the crown of your head. And because of that, there's a lot of insecurity that can arise, a lot of negative emotions, insecurity, not vulnerability, but anything that wraps around like being under the weather, like depression, anxiety, insecurity, the feelings of like not wanting to expose yourself that much because you're scared, you're afraid of how it might feel. That's protection. Protecting your crown, like wearing a hat, head wrap, even a wig, I think is spiritual protection too, because it's subconscious spiritual protection. But I think once you go through a certain healing phase, you're ready to release the energy that your hair carries. So then you might feel the need to cut it off. So, and if I look down, I'm looking at some notes. If you all can relate to locks being spiritual, put a 1 in the chat. If you're like, what are you talking about? They're not spiritual to me. Put a 2. Put a 2. Put a 2. When I was wrapping my hair, when I first started my lock journey, I was I was not that aware of like how wrapping my hair was affecting me. So I guess I didn't see a real connection in it. However, during the end of November, I started praying about what I should do to fast in December. Every year I do a fast. And to me, the fast is spiritual and it's not always about food. As a matter of fact, it's barely about food. It's about the things that we feed our bodies, but for me, eyes, ear, mouth, and nose are feeding centers because you can watch something and you're feeding yourself with the stuff that you watch. You can listen to something and you're feeding yourself with music, or you can eat something and you're feeding yourself that way. So one, a lot of you all relate to being spiritual. One. Okay, cool. So we on the same page. So during December, when I was praying about what I should fast for, I usually pray about it and then I usually write it down. And I just kept hearing the voice like, wrap your hair, wrap your hair. And God spoke through other people to me. When we were on, let's back up. Me and the digital loctician, if y'all know the digital loctician here on YouTube, Jocelyn Renee, me and her did a live stream together about, maybe it was in November, and she was talking a lot about wrapping your hair, wrapping your locks, and I had an inkling like that just added on to my thoughts about wrapping my locks, and I decided to write down in my list of all the other things that I would fast for, like or fast from, like TV, movies, music with lyrics in it, and a plethora of other things. Wrapping my hair was on that list. And I never gotten any hint to fast or to wrap my hair as a sense of fasting before. So I bought a head wrap from Yugo Natural, and they're not sponsoring me at all. I just really love their head wraps. They're so convenient. And I bought a head wrap from Yugo Natural, and I wore that most of the time. And throughout the first week, I was having some really interesting experiences. Now I'm getting into the first week of December. So I started wrapping my hair December 1st. I started just wrapping my locks. And I would still kind of take care of my locks underneath the head wrap and just brush my locks. I would spray my locks with oil, not with oil, with the Free the Roots spray that I have. But overall, I was just wearing head wraps every single day. Throughout the first week, I started to notice a difference in the way that situations would happen. I explained it a little bit more in my video about head wraps, about my 30-day head wrap challenge, but some really unexpected things just started to happen, and it was like a shift was taking place. For some reason, I became a lot more insecure. But in hindsight, I know that the insecurity came from a sense of me having that, like, my locks feel like, to me, they feel like my style. They feel like they're just something that's here. It grows out of my hair naturally. So I feel like it's supposed to be out. Like it's supposed to be something that's comforting me. When I'm cold, when my neck is cold, I wear them down and then I wrap them around like a blanket and it keeps me warm, you know? So actually wrapping my hair made me feel more vulnerable, but I thought it was going to be the other way around. Like most people say, like, wrapping your locks feels like you're more protected, you're less vulnerable, right? Or you're more protected and it allows you to attract more goodness. I felt like it was the opposite for me. I feel like because I was wrapping my locks, I started to feel a little bit more insecure. I started to doubt myself because there were a lot of other personal things I was going through in that month as well, in the month of December. It was a couple mistakes that I feel like I made that I regretted. Now I don't. But through all the things that were going on, I was like, why, if wrapping your locks is supposed to be spiritual protection, why do I feel the most vulnerable that I've ever felt? Like I didn't feel protected. I felt kind of attacked. Like I felt the opposite of protection. I remember, so I did talk about this in the video. Who's Nikki or Meg? Who's that? I don't know what that means, but in that video, I explained that within the first 2 weeks of me wrapping my hair, I had a dream, and I woke up from a dream. It startled me. I woke up from a dream, and the dream was me driving in my car. I was driving on the main road, and I was approaching a stoplight. It was a four-way stoplight, and I wanted to stop, but the brakes disappeared. Like all of a sudden, the brakes were gone off of my car. There was no brakes. And then all of a sudden, I tried to like swerve, but the wheel disappeared from my car. So like I didn't have any brakes. I didn't have a steering wheel. It was just me freaking out because I no longer had control of the car. And then I woke up in a startle, like in a panic. I woke up in a panic. And once I woke up, some of y'all are not gonna believe this, but I looked at the time after I woke up, and the first thing I did was probably pray. So a little bit of time went by. But when I did check my phone, the time was 3:33 a.m. I'm not making this up. The time was 3:33, and that was my number for all of December. There's one time I went to Starbucks, and this was like a week after. I went to Starbucks, and I went and got a Starbucks hot chocolate with some caramel drizzle on the top and the bottom. And I had a gift card with the balance on the gift card. I used the rest of the balance, and then I paid, and then I had to pay, in cash because I had some cash. And the balance that I had to pay left over after I used the rest of my gift card was $3.33. I can't make that up. I can't make that up. It was $3.33. What's up, John? Much love and respect to you, and good vibes heading your way. So those are those are just some of the examples, of the prime examples of things that happened when I was wrapping my locks. Again, I felt more vulnerable. I felt like attacked, honestly. And by the way, if you are just coming in, what's up? Make sure to give this live stream a like. Thank you to all of you all who have already liked the live stream. And then maybe even share it, like watch it with somebody. I don't know who you want to share it with. Let me know where you're from down in the comments as well. Have you ever done a challenge like this? Like, has anybody ever done a 30-day head wrap challenge? Or if it's not a challenge to you, if it's just like an everyday lifestyle, then let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments. So getting into the more spiritual aspect of wrapping my hair. So again, this was in December. I was experiencing just a feeling of like, first of all, I was insecure because I realized that if my hair's not out, I may not feel the most like pretty in the face. Or like, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't feel the most attractive that I usually do, because I felt like I started to realize that my hair was still a certain my hair was still creating a certain sense of what's that called, vanity for me. And Callie in the house. And then from there, I started to feel like, do people see me as much? Am I being seen, or am I just being looked at? Because I realized when I have my hair out, I feel like I'm seen because my hair is an extension of me, you know? And when I had my hair not out, when I had it covered, I feel like I wasn't seen. I was just being looked at. So halfway through this 30 days, like probably December 15th or whatever, and then after, I started to feel a little bit better about myself because it started to feel more natural to wear a head wrap. And you know what's interesting? I mean, I grew up Christian. I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. I'm a believer in Jesus Christ and the the resurrection. I have some, of course, unorthodox beliefs around the Bible, and some stories being taken out and whatever, but it's still like the foundation of the beliefs are what I hold true. But one thing I do is I don't discriminate against other religions or their beliefs, because honestly, a lot of them come from the same root or the same foundation, or not the same foundation, but like it, it's kind of similar, but just different. So, mainly, the main thing I'm trying to say is that I just don't discriminate. I try to hear every side of the story, because if you think that you're right about what you believe in, and if you stand so firmly in that, then somebody else's beliefs, you hearing that shouldn't waver what you believe at all. But we should still respect what each other believes in, because you never know. You never truly, truly, truly know for yourself the truth until you feel the truth within yourself. And maybe other people's truth is different than your truth. But anyways, one of my coworkers at work is Muslim, and we were talking about. He was talking, and he saw that I started wrapping my hair, and he was like, "Is there a reason why you started wrapping your hair?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's just like a spiritual protection for me." Sonora says, "I've always wrapped my hair, and I felt more secure with it wrapped versus my hair being out." Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing, and I understand why now. But so me and my Muslim coworker were talking, and he said, like the reason why, people of Muslim faith wrap their hair, or women specifically of Muslim faith wrap their hair, is because of it's a sign of awareness of your modesty and your your faith, and also to, okay. So in that respect, he talked about how the Bible talks about, and it's in First Corinthians. Yeah, the Bible actually talks about Isaiah is instructing people to, or women, to actually wear head wraps or head coverings. And you know how certain things, a lot of things in the Bible can be interpreted different ways. And I've heard, pastors interpret one scripture, or multiple pastors interpret one scripture totally different ways. So that's where you got to kind of like go back to Hebrew and Greek, and the concordance and everything like that. But I ain't gonna get too deep into that, because I be doing my research and stuff like that too. But just from the surface level, it instructs in Corinthians that a woman should cover her hair, or a wife, actually it says, should cover her hair, and that it is her glory to have long hair. But if it is offensive, or if it disgraces her to have long hair, then she should cut it off. And then basically that a woman should wear a hair covering. Now, it doesn't, so like there's a couple different interpretations of it, possibly. And I'm not saying that I think anyone is right or wrong. I'm just saying that a lot of things are open for discussion, because one, you could say a covering for your head is your hair, or two, you could say a hair covering is a head wrap. But three, you could look at the scripture and say, and let me actually read the actual scripture, because different versions say different things. So I didn't have this prepared, because I wasn't actually planning on talking about this, but it just happened to come up. And if any of you all know this scripture that I'm talking about, then let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for your compliment as well. Okay. It's in First Corinthians chapter 11, 2 through 16. I'm reading the English Standard Version. Okay. I usually read out of the ESV too. So it says, starting from verse 2. Now I commend you because you remember me in everything and maintain the traditions even as I deliver them to you. But I want you to understand that the head of every man is Christ, the head of a wife is her husband, and the head of Christ is God. Every man who prays or prophesies with his head covers dishonors his head, but every wife who prays or prophesies with her head uncovered dishonors her head, since it is the same as if her head were shaven. That's what it says. For if a wife will not cover her head, then she should cut her hair short. But since it is disgraceful for a wife to cut off her hair or shave her head, let her cover her head. Okay. Oh, so that's what it says. Okay. And so I've read the whole entire New Testament back to front, but the Bible is a book that you're in different states of mind once you read it. And also, not everything is interpreted by everyone the same. So some people might not go to their Hebrew, even though it was originally in Hebrew and then Greek, Not everybody reads it in Hebrew, but you can't really go to the foundations of what it means unless you go to the actual foundations, because it's been a little bit whitewashed, you know what I'm saying? It's been a little bit whitewashed here and there, but it when I read it, I was like, okay, well, why don't any Christian women that I've ever seen, mind you, I grew up as a preacher's kid. I was like, why don't any Christian women that I've seen wear head wraps? Because this obviously seems like the type of thing to where it's like people should take it as seriously as they say, don't have sex before marriage, or it is blasphemous for a man to sleep with a man. You know what I'm saying? Like the other things that Christians deem blasphemous. Like, why isn't this, like, why are things picked and chosen as to whether or not people follow them? And I also understand that in some books, whoever is talking to different groups of people, but this is in the New Testament, so this is obviously talking to people who came after Christ, who is supposed to be like the people of this time, not the people like back then. So, after I read that, I was like, okay, it makes more sense as to why I felt more comfortable wearing a head wrap after I got used to wearing a head wrap over and over. I hope I didn't lose anybody here, but Tay says people have wrapped their hair for lots of reasons through time. Our hair was seen as too seductive during slavery and required to be covered. So that makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense because it goes along with the whole vanity thing, and how I mentioned earlier that I didn't feel as seen. Like I didn't get as many stare downs from, and it's not just like in an attractive way or in a seductive way, but I didn't get as many looks or, glances because hair is seen as beauty. Now, I definitely understand the seduction thing because longer hair, I feel like in most people's perspective is sensual or it's more seductive than shorter hair. And yeah, once I read that scripture, and once like it was a Muslim person telling me that this is in the Bible, and it's like Muslim people read the Quran, it just showed me how much, things are picked and chosen. Like people pick and choose what they want to follow, which I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, there's anything right with that, because yeah, it just is what it is. But reading that kind of backed up how I feel about it, because I feel like out of all the other things in the Bible that we pick and choose to either make a big deal or we just choose to like just brush it over, this is important. Like, and I didn't know this. Like, I've never heard anybody else say it. So, but I've heard plenty of people say, being gay is blasphemous. Or I've heard plenty of people say women should not be preachers. I've heard plenty of people say that, like all the other things that Christianity or a lot of people, in the Bible take really, really seriously. So I just wanted to bring that up. But I agree or I can see the viewpoint that hair is seen as seductive, especially for women, or long hair is seen as seductive. So that was a little tangent, but not really a tangent because it goes right back into the symbolism of wrapping hair and what it turned into for me. So getting back to like 30-day head wrap challenge, it started to become more so of a journey for me than a challenge. Started to become more of a journey to me than a challenge, and it was a journey because I started to feel more confident towards the end of the month that I was wearing head wraps. I started to feel like a Nubian princess, like a Nigerian, you know what I'm saying? I'm mostly Nigerian out of everything I started to feel like a Nigerian, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so the way that I've seen other people do it, the 30-day head wrap challenge, and I've only seen a couple people do it, but it's wearing a head wrap for 30 days. And I also meditate every single day. When I meditate, I do some certain practices that allow the flow of energy to move up towards the crown. So every single morning I meditate, and almost every single morning I also stand on my head. I do a headstand. Those two practices, I'm gonna get into it. Meditation and breath work moves energy through the channels of the body, and that's just clearing out the body, clearing out blockages in the veins, the arteries, allowing the allowing the organs to function more smoothly. And so I practice breath work and meditation every single morning, making sure that the spine is upright, that the chakras and everything are aligned. And apparently wearing a head wrap, excuse me, covering your head allows the flow of energy to rise to the crown of the head and then conserve that energy instead of just let it out. Similarly to the practice of doing headstands, when you do a headstand, your crown of the head is actually meeting the earth. And scientifically, you can allow the minerals of the earth to draw up into the crown of the head. And then spiritually, you can just connect your crown with earth, with Mother Earth. And headstands for me are really important because after I do a headstand, I feel a lot better. I feel a lot more, I feel a lot better. I also feel a lot more grounded, to be honest with you. Let's see. Any other experiences that I had during the 30-day challenge or during the 30-day journey? I think that's pretty much all right now. Hey, I just want to take a pause in between and say if you're just coming in, put where you are from the in the chat. If you didn't give this live stream a thumbs up, please do so other people can find it, because I know y'all have a lot of questions on this. Start to drop some questions in the chat as well. I'm going to answer your question, Tangy Lives, in a minute. And then I also wanted to share with you all my retreat that's coming up in May, the Crown Connection Retreat. It's a revamp from the last time I announced a retreat, because it was about lock journey, but now it's about if you feel disconnected spiritually from others and from yourself, it's a time to reconnect with self. If you feel like your energy is always drained and you can't be your best self in the environment that you're in, and you just need to get out of your environment to truly transform and heal and master your mindset, we are going to be immersing ourselves in nature. We're going to sleep in the cabins that regenerate or reset our circadian rhythm. And we're going to practice breath work, meditation, and yoga. We're going to practice sound healing as well, because I'll bring my sound bowls and do a little realignment with the sound bowls every single day. So if you want to know more about that, hop on my interest meeting on this Thursday, or either this Thursday or next Thursday. I just dropped the link in the chat. Hop on my interest meeting and ask any questions that you want to. The deadline to sign up for the retreat is in April, so there's not a lot of time left. And the price of the retreat is $1970. I will be allowing you to, bring a friend if you want to bring a friend, and then have a friend tag along. It's great to bring a friend along with this experience as well, since we'll be getting closer into community. But yeah, hop on the call and let me know if you have any questions. But all the FAQs should be on the retreat page. I'm going to drop the retreat page again. If you have any questions, drop it in the chat. What are your thoughts on Reiki? My thoughts are Reiki is a practice of using your hands to feel other people's energy. I feel like we're already practicing Reiki and we don't know it. We all have like Reiki inside of us. So if you've ever stood next to somebody and just by like looking at them, you can feel their energy or you feel their emotions, then you've practiced Reiki before. You just don't know it. Reiki is using your ability to get in touch with source, with God, honestly, with source. And we can all do it to some capacity. I feel like some people may need to practice or get more in tune, whether that's like meditation, writing down your thoughts in a journal. Just remove negativity out of your mind and out of your spirit and out of your heart before allowing other people to absorb your energy, because it's all an absorption of energy. to me, but I think that it's an important practice. I've had Reiki readings before, and again, Reiki is a practice where the Reiki practitioner will feel your energy either by moving their hands, not touching you, but like having their hands like this close to you and just moving their hands along your body, feeling where your chakras are. Maybe they might use certain instruments like that little thing that the doctor uses to tap your knee and then your foot is supposed to move forward. And they might use different tools to attune your body back to its natural rhythm or natural vibration, because we just vibrate all day. We're vibrating because we're energetic. So I think it's important because like the Reiki readings that I have done, they really allowed me to think more intuitively of myself, and they've allowed me to know a little bit more about myself and the things that I need to do to help heal. For example, the right and left sides of the body. The right side is your masculine side and the left side is your feminine side. So through Reiki, through talking to a Reiki practitioner, I found out that if you're hearing, sorry, my mom is talking really loud downstairs. I don't know why. What are they talking about? Okay. Anyways, sorry. I learned through a Reiki practitioner that if you are hearing something in your right ear more than your left ear, then you're probably in your masculine, because your right side is your masculine side. That's your solar energy. That means that you might be overworking yourself. You might not be getting enough sleep. If you hear more on your left side, then you're probably too sluggish. You need some fire, some more umph to get you going. You need more masculinity because you're too laid back. You're too like just go with the flow, you know? So yeah, at this point, I guess I'll start taking questions too. So if you have more questions, again, drop your questions in the chat. Thank you all for coming and chatting with me. North Carolina in the house. Okay, that's what's up. Hey y'all. So I said I would listen to Reiki audios like Reiki for removing heavy energy or Reiki for limiting beliefs. It's life changing. Yeah, I mean it's just when you become aware of your energetic, I feel like your energetic rhythm or your energetic feel for your body is when you become aware of it. But we all practice Reiki in some sort because we all can feel intuitively if we listen, we can feel what's going on in the body and then also feel what's going on with other people's bodies. What do I do if some of my dreads are thinning out? So I think it depends on a couple of things. Number one, what products are you using? Are you using anything heavy on your locks? Like, are you using a lot of anything with butter, like shea butter? Are you using a lot of like when you feel your locks, do they feel heavy? Do they feel like they're weighing your roots down? If so, then it might just be because of your part to lock ratio, meaning like the part in the section that your scalp was parted is not wide enough to support your lock, and down here it's getting too heavy that it's making your locks thin. Or again, it could be too much thick products weighing your locks down, or if your locks are thinning out. If it's not at the root, then see if it's thinning out down here. Then see if it is a maintenance. Excuse me. See if it is a maintenance issue, because you said you use spraying oil? Okay. Um, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of factors that you'd have to look at in your maintenance routine. Like I was gonna say, how did you start your locks? And also how do you maintain your locks? Because if, for example, if it's a thing of like if it's thinning down here, then that probably means you use different types of maintenance to maintain your locks. Like maybe you started with two strand twists and then you started interlocking it somewhere in here, so it's thinning down here because it's inconsistency in the way that you maintain your locks. How long does it take a person to control and protect their energy basically maintain it. So how long does it take a person to control and protect their energy? That's an interesting question, and I'm not sure exactly how you mean it. To control your energy, like to control your emotions. That's what I think of. So I'm going to answer that. Like to control your emotions and to basically become unbothered when situations bother you, and to change your reaction, it would be to change your level of awareness. So raise your level of awareness to how are you reacting to certain things? Are you maybe even causing things to, or negative cycles to recycle in your life because of how you react? I like to say that 90% of your life is, sorry, let me start. Only 10% of your life is what happens to you, and 90% of that is how you react to what happens to you. So you have all the control. It's just about your perceived control. Like we don't have all control in the sense that like things could happen to us that we had no idea that were going to happen, and things happen, like tragedy strikes or unexpected things come your way. That's only 10% though. So change your perspective. Sorry, I'm going to take some water. I'm thirsty. This is not moonshine. This is not white lightning, it's water. Yeah, so I would say that what like how are you reacting, and that internally helps you protect your energy, because you're you're going to be more unbothered by raising your level of awareness of how you're reacting to things. And then if literally nothing is ever able to really shake the way that you're feeling, you're going to master the art of being unbothered, my friend. And the art of being unbothered and mastering your mindset is one of the best things that you can do for yourself. My friend, it's one of the best things that you can do for yourself. When nobody or nothing is able to make you stumble, make you slip, make you fall, you're going to be a force to be reckoned with, I tell you. So that's how you protect your energy. And then the way that you maintain it is that you keep implementing these awareness techniques as you go throughout. So things change. Things change in the sense of how you maintain your calm and how you protect your peace. For example, meditation used to be my thing that I needed to protect my peace. Now, and it's probably because I need to up my meditation game, because I've just been consistent with meditating. And now, because I'm at a certain level to where I can just get to this flow state or get to the state of calm, I need to level up. So sometimes just meditating every single day isn't enough. I need more tools. So what I started to do was I started to write in a journal. And I started to write like in the moment, what I'm feeling, how I'm feeling. I just start to write just anything, just write anything, and how am I feeling and why I'm feeling it. And I don't start writing with the intention to answer those questions. They just get answered while I'm writing, because you're bringing your subconscious thought out to the conscious thought. I love journaling. Let's journal together, y'all. I'm gonna listen. In February, I'm reopening my Patreon. We're gonna have a community where we talk, and we got a little group chat going on. Let me know if y'all ready for that, because let me give y'all a little sneak peek. I'm going to reopen my Patreon. I've had it closed for a little while because I wasn't able to really commit like I know I can commit. Like I know I should commit to you all. But it's going to be all about mastering your mindset, increasing your creativity, and increasing connection with yourself and with others, so we can feel less alone in the world and feel less judged. It's going to be an open, non-judgmental space. On the replay, well, you're Sherelle, you're here on the live. Did you know that you're on the live? So you're basically here live, even though I know you're catching it afterwards, but you're replying live. So, but thank you for replying. Replay. So Yeah, y'all, I do have a call at 8 p.m., so I'm gonna wrap it up in just a minute. But I just wanted to close out by reflecting on this 30-day head wrap challenge that I did. Again, if y'all have any last minute questions, let me know in the chat. Drop them now. This is your time. This is your time. So, yeah, like what experiences do y'all have with wrapping your locks? Is it a daily thing? I know somebody said some of you all said you always wrap your locks, and it's protection to you. A lot of you all said it's spiritual protection to you. So I want to know, what do you all think about wrapping your locks? Is it something that you do occasionally for a hairstyle? Is it something that you do every single day? Let me know. And also, oh, this is one of the last things I want to say. It Wrapping my hair every single day, it enhanced my spiritual like connection. Like I started praying more. I started getting down on my knees to pray. And before, you can pray anytime. Like you can pray anytime. I pray in the car with my eyes open. I pray with my eyes closed. I pray all the time. Like I know I can pray at any time, any day. So you can pray anytime, any day, any way, any minute, any second, any hour. But what I started to do is I actually started to face the east and pray on my knees. Now I'm not Muslim. I'm not Muslim. Like I said before, I think that a lot of different faiths have certain things that they do for a certain reason. And actually, according to the Bible, the Christian Bible, praying, the heart of God was always intended in the Middle East. Y'all know that, right? Read the book of Habakkuk. It says stuff about Palestine and Israel in there too. That's going on in the current days and times. I don't know why nobody's talking about that either. But the whole book of Habakkuk says it. The heart of God was intended to be in the Middle East, so that's why they faced the east to pray. So I started actually facing the east to pray because it felt more right to me. And when I practiced yoga or when I meditate, I face the east. I face the east, and I started wearing head wraps more often. Now I don't wear them every single day. Like today, I went out and I did not wear a head wrap, but I I did I do wear head wraps to work now because I don't I don't know if somebody's gonna come up and touch my hair without me asking. And I gotta be completely honest with y'all. I'm not a confrontational person. So if somebody comes up and touches my hair, I'm gonna be like, but I might be quiet for the first couple seconds because I'm gonna be startled, especially if you might ask me. But if you ask me, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. But I'm not gonna pop off at anybody. But I'm just gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? Like I might do something subtle like that because I don't like people touching my hair. That's it. That's pretty much it that I got. Now's your time. Put your questions down below in the chat. But what do y'all think about what I said earlier about me reopening my Patreon? I'm gonna reopen my Patreon. It's gonna be something like master your mindset or something, because I asked a lot of y'all in the community chat, in the community page, in the community tab or whatever, what you all want more help with. What service could I help you all with? And a lot of you all said discipline. So I said, okay, bet. I know a lot of you all say discipline, but what you really need is you need more mindfulness. And I know mindfulness sounds really broad. Discipline to me sounds really broad too, because what is the reason why you're not disciplined? It's because of distraction. And it's also because of a need to make an identity shift. Because a lot of people, it's not that you're not disciplined. It's just that if you have a goal to work out every day or to run on the treadmill every day, the reason why you don't do it isn't because you're not disciplined to run on the treadmill or because you don't want to run on the treadmill. You probably want to, and you'd probably have more discipline if you change your sense of identity. Change your sense of identity. So just imagine if you have never been an athletic person before. You've never been an athletic person. You're going to think of yourself as a non-athletic person or a sedentary person. That's the identity that you adopt, right? So if you tell yourself as a sedentary person, if you tell yourself, I'm going to start working out, Well, first of all, that's very vague. What workouts are you going to do? What time of the day are you going to do it? Which days of the week are you going to do it? What are your rest days? So so some of you all, you're probably just not specific enough. You didn't set specific enough goals or guidelines around when you're going to do something because you have like an 80% more chance of actually following up on what you say you're going to do if you set really, really specific guidelines around it. So instead of just saying, I'm going to, I'm going to, go vegetarian. Okay, when does it start? What does your diet consist of? Are you going to like when is that diet going to start? What are you going to do when you go out to restaurants? What are you going to meal prep? What are your meals going to be? What are you going to cook throughout the week? Like make a plan. And I think a lot of people's discipline shows up as a lack of planning, not a lack of discipline. So it's all about mindset. That's why I said master your mindset. I think that sounds really, really good. So yeah, I'm gonna reopen my Patreon in February. Just watch out for it. I'm gonna drop the link one more time to my interest meeting because I know a lot of you all are interested in the retreat. Oh, that's actually that is my retreat page that I just dropped. If you have any initial questions about my retreat that's coming up in May, drop your questions. I mean, you can get your question answered by looking on that page. But if you're like a person who just doesn't like reading pages and you just want to ask your question, come and chat with me. The link is the last link that I just dropped. Come and chat with me on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because I'll be answering all your questions and giving you more clarity about if this retreat is right for you, which honestly, if you're stressed, if you're lacking, if you're feeling isolated, and if you're lacking passion in life or discipline, or if you feel like you need to get away from your current environment, then this is the experience for you. So yeah, I just said it. Well, I'm going to hop off, y'all, because I do have another meeting at 8. I love you all. Thank you so much for your support. And you all really make this channel go round. Like, y'all really make this channel what it is for real. If you didn't already, give this live stream a like. Thanks for everybody who came on and commented and supported. Keep on supporting the channel. Thanks so much. You have a great night as well. I'll see you in the next video, in the next live stream. I'll probably go live stream on Thursday right before our talk on Thursday. So again, if you want to know more about the retreat or if you just want to have a little chit chat, go ahead and sign up for my call. It's on Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. See y'all then. Peace.